Nottingham Forest stunned Liverpool at Anfield 3-0, slapping. Liverpool, 74% possession, 21 shots, one big chance created, 4 shots on target. Abysmal performance from the Reds today. This result is huge in defining what Liverpool's season can go on to be. They obviously have had a huge rough patch of form. They got the international break, got some time to relax. Some players had it better than others. Obviously Szoboszlai with the heartbreak against Ireland. But you come back as a team and you get to regroup. You get to play a team that has been struggling all season. They're bottom 5 in the table. I think before this result they were in the bottom 3. At your home ground. Absolutely need to slap them. You need to slap them. And this isn't to say that Nottingham Forest are a bad team, because they are very much underperforming this year. But Liverpool should be beating them. They need to get revenge for last year when they lost 1-0 at Anfield. Their only loss for a large part of the season. Only lost at Anfield in God knows how long. But I think it might have been Van Dijk's first loss at Anfield, like ever, or something like it was some crazy stat like that. But they came out today and they did look good. Nottingham Forest put early pressure, but Liverpool immediately responded, and Salah looked dangerous. Gakpo looked phenomenal. McAllister was making the right runs into the box, just couldn't get a goal. The huge goal line clearance from Elliot Anderson in the first half. Gravenberch looked really good. Kirkes, I don't think he was great today. I don't really think he was good, but he was getting into the right areas, and he was causing problems. Like, it was really, really positive from Liverpool for large parts of the game, and Nottingham Forest really couldn't get anything going, and they get their first goal. I think it's a goal, but because of Van Dijk's being ruled out, it's so strange to see this given. The lack of consistency with the referees in the Premier League is insane. But I think it is a goal. I think when you see the shot behind, who was it? Murillo? Was it Murillo that scored? When you see the shot behind him, when you see that, I think it was Ndoye, isn't in the line of sight of Alisson. Alisson even reacted at the right time, but he just didn't commit to the save because it was such a clinical finish. He was never going to save it, no matter who is in front of him blocking his view. So I think it's a goal. I think it rightly stood. But I can understand why Liverpool fans feel hard done. But immediately after that, Liverpool should have been down 2-0 because Igor Jesus gets the ball, takes a touch off of this area. The commentators and VAR are saying that it's not clear because the referee gave handball. They can't overturn it because it's not clear and obvious, which is complete bullshit because anyone could see the white of his shirt in between the ball. And I know it's not necessary. I don't know what the rule is exactly. Most people interpret it as the sleeve line. I don't think that's the exact rule. But the majority of the ball bounces off his pec, and he controls it and finishes it beautifully. Absolutely should have been a goal. Atrocious from the refereeing. They didn't really comment on it during the halftime discussion. The commentators really failed to mention it at all. And I felt like it kind of got disregarded. And it was way more focused on the first goal, which should count, but has a huge controversy around it because Van Dijk was wrongly ruled out. So, whatever. Liverpool hang on to go only down 1-0 at halftime. And you think, in the first half, Salah and Gakpo were able to get at the fullbacks. They were able to create a lot of chances, get a lot of crosses in, get a lot of balls cut back to McAllister, to Kirkes, to whoever is in that position. Ironically enough, not Isak, who severely underperformed today. The second half, Force come out so quick, so well, and immediately a well-worked goal. Nico Williams puts it into, I think it was the right back. I don't know his name exactly. Savona, young Italian. Great finish. Puts Nottingham Forest 2-0 up. and they were cruising. They looked comfortable. They were able to sit back. Liverpool were getting forward, but it just didn't feel like they were creating as many good chances as they were in the first half. And Salah found it harder to get a shot off, get a chance created, because every time he felt like he cut in, Nico Williams or Elliot Anderson or whoever was there to double him, completely cut him off. A lot of the time, the ball was put at the top of the box and nobody could really find a pass for it. Gakpo was trying to create things, but nobody could get on the end to any of his crosses. He couldn't find enough gap to shoot himself. And it just looked like Liverpool were never going to get back into it. This looked like the Nottingham Forest defense of last season, where Sells was making big save, big punches, absolutely leveled Isak on one of the punches. Milinkovic-Savic body Salah off the ball. Liverpool fans going nuts, thinking it's a penalty. Absolutely not. Never in a million years. Murillo making big plays. And even when they broke, they looked like they had a chance to score almost every time they got in Liverpool's half. And it was very, very good from Forest. Very different from their first half performance. A lot more confident. And I really thought without the ball, they were the better team. Like, they didn't have the ball at all. They barely held on to the ball. They barely got forward, but every time they did, they looked better. Every time in defense, they looked more solidified. Virgil van Dijk for the third goal. Shot from, it might have been Ndoye on the right-hand side. I don't know if he was off the pitch at that time. And comes right out to Morgan Gibbs-White. Can't do anything about it. Can't do any, and just so frustrated. Chiesa was frustrated, throwing the ball, throwing his arms up. Gakpo, everything, giving up silly fouls, throwing his arms up. This team, the crowd, everybody was rattled inside of Anfield, and this is a terrible look for a team like Liverpool. Now, with all of this said, I don't completely count them out of finishing in the top four. If Arsenal lose or draw tomorrow, they're still up max of 9 points off. You're only 5 points off of second Chelsea. If Newcastle can get a result against City, you're still only 4 to 5 points. Even if they win, you're only 7 points off of them. They're not completely down and out of it, in my opinion, because of the quality that they have, because of the resilience they've shown. Because if Salah can get rolling, if Virgil van Dijk and Alisson can completely shut down and lock down at the back, if Isak can get the numbers rolling like he had last year, this team could win out the entire season. Seriously, it's not going to happen. I know Liverpool will drop points in the next 26 games. They won't win 26 on the bounce. That would be insane. But they can hurt a lot of these teams. They still have to play City again. They still have to play Arsenal again. Still have to play Chelsea again. And they get results in those matches. They go on. They win games. There's a chance. I'm not completely counting them out. I'm not saying they're going to win it. I'm not saying they're favorites to win it. I'm not even saying they're in the top 3 favorites to win it right now. But they're definitely still a team I think is going to finish in the top 4. They're definitely a team that I look at that can pick up a cup. Could maybe saying the Champions League is a stretch because of the quality of Bayern Munich and Arsenal and City and Real Madrid and Barcelona and all these other teams. But it's not completely out of the equation because you see that you know this team, you know the players in it, and you know the quality they possess. So I think Arne Slot is under serious pressure now. It's tough to say that a manager that wins the league is under pressure the season after. It feels like almost like a write-off season, but being 11th and possibly falling down lower, depending on what results happen in the league, is not a good look. It's not. It's not good enough. It's below Liverpool standard, especially because you're only 3 points off of Everton. Everton win their next game, you're behind your biggest rivals. You're already a point. You're already below Man United, and they haven't even played yet. Oh shit! They play each other. I didn't even realize that. Okay, whatever. But yeah, that's besides the point. Liverpool need to get their act together. Arne Slot can get sacked. Liverpool are a team that don't. They're a team that hold on to managers. They give managers time. They're not like we expected with Chelsea, with Mourinho coming back, winning the league, getting sacked the next year. Conte winning the league and then finishing and then getting sacked, and then it's different. This is a different club. This is not how they usually operate, but they might need to because this guy does not have the answers. The squad, with all the money that's been spent on it, still lacks depth, still lacks individual quality from some players. This manager cannot get the best out of them right now. I understand. I mean, Leone's a squad player. You don't expect him to be playing this game, but I understand Frimpong's out, who could give you an overlapping run with Salah, who can provide a threat. I understand that Verts is out, creativity, but he hasn't been performing either. Neither of them have been performing. Isak, the most expensive Premier League player ever, did nothing today. He provided absolutely nothing today. He looks like a shell of himself. Literally looks like skin and bones out on the field. Doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know what to do at all. And it's awful. It's awful. Out of Liverpool's lineup today, I could say Gakpo had a good game. I could say, for large parts, Gravenberch had a good game. I could say, in moments, McAllister looked good. And in the first half, I thought Salah looked good, but outside of that, it's really poor. Szoboszlai too, always just kind of been their consistent performer, but it's none of it. Doesn't matter how you played as an individual today. You have to look at yourself and realize a lot of these players have to look at themselves and realize that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how you perform individually. You need to win as a team, and you have West Ham next, which should be an easy game. It's away at West Ham. They found some sort of form, but they just bottled a 2-0 lead today to Bournemouth. A beatable team. A beatable team. So yeah, I'll be back in a bit for the City Newcastle match, praying for a Newcastle win. Other than that, tomorrow, North London derby, obviously going to be talked about, and I don't think I'll be able to cover the United Everton game, but if I can, I will. So yeah, see you guys in the next one. Peace.